Dance Radio. Dance Radio.
Prepare yourself.
Ang silid-aralan sa radyo, hatid namin ay makabagong paraan ng pagtuturo at kalaman. Mapaumaga, tanghali o hapon man yan. Ang istasyong magbibigay impormasyon kahit saan man.
Alright, here we go.
106.3 Dance Radio. Doña Aurora National High School, Santa Rita, Aurora, Isabela.
This
106.3 DWDR FM. Facts and information. Today's learning for you normal with capable teachers whose heart and soul are divine. Delivered knowledge inside your home through 106.3 Dance Radio. Fully dedicated to serve the public in tribute to education, reproduce of radio-based instruction. We are pleased to deliver the utmost aim of education only here on 106.3 DWDR-FM.
A wonderful afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and also to our listeners and all grade 9 learners. Ayan, ha? With me is teacher Shirley Acosta for the introduction.
Okay. Hello everyone. Good afternoon. How are you today, my dear listeners and viewers? I hope you are having a wonderful day. Thank you for tuning with me today, Ma'am Shirley, for our weekly dose of language knowledge. Let's gear up and sign up because I will make sure that you will learn and enjoy our English lesson together. Join me as we explore the mind-blowing Anglo-American literature and the wonders of the universal language. I extend my greetings of love to everyone, especially our grade 9 learners. My classes, 9 Calamansi and 9 Dalandan. With me today are my fellow English teachers, Teacher Susana B. Dumon, Teacher Raquel A. Dumlao, and of course, Teacher Dennis Mendoza, who are also extending their regards to their learners. Please say hello, teachers.
The truth will set you free. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, take 2. The truth will set you free. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello to 9 Darwin, 9 Pasture, 9 Mendel, and 9 SPJ. This is Ma'am Susana.
Hello to all listeners here and abroad. This is Teacher Raquel. And please listen attentively, grade 9 Lanzones and 9 Avocado.
Yes, also to my grade 9 Guyabano. Yan, magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Tama, mayroon tayong listener kasi abroad, si Reginelle na nakikinig sa atin. And natutuwa siya pag nanonood siya sa atin kasi she learned a lot of things from us. Ayan. Okay.
Okay, so I would like also to greet our officer in charge at the same time, our head teacher, Ma'am Ofelia Esra Lutin, and of course, our dear friends, the English Learning Area teachers. Good afternoon to all of you. Okay, so today, you're going to listen to your first RBI lesson for the 4th quarter, which is about judging the relevance, worth of ideas, soundness of reasoning, and effectiveness of the presentation of the author. As you listen, you should be able to determine the meaning of words through context clues, have a brief background on the life of Benjamin Franklin, listen and judge the relevance, worth of ideas, soundness of reasoning of Benjamin Franklin in his autobiography, and you're going to respond to questions given regarding the topic. So, our dear learners, this lesson has a value focus of verifying something before making our own judgment. So our lesson is very essential because you will learn how to judge the relevance, worth of ideas, soundness of reasoning, and effectiveness of the presentation of the author. Hopefully, after today's session, you will learn how to judge according to a set criteria. Okay, but before that, before having our RBI airing, let us have a review of our previous topic. Okay, so let's see whether you could still recall our last lesson for the third quarter. Yes, okay, so let us have a review.
Okay, so makitignan natin ang PowerPoint natin, mga anak.
Yes, so
Okay, yan.
okay, so let us have the review part of this afternoon session.
Yan, sandali lang yan. Okay.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Okay, let's see whether you could still recall our last lesson for the third quarter. So let us review the difference of bias and prejudice by answering this activity. Okay, you're going to classify whether the statement in each item manifests bias or prejudice. Okay, let's see. Okay, so all you need to do is to type the item number plus the correct answer on the comment box.
Yes.
Okay, number plus you're going to choose whether it is bias, you write bias, or it is prejudice. Okay? So let's have the first one. Okay? So the first one, banks prefer men to hire over women for managerial positions.
Ayan. Mhm. Ano kaya ito, ma'am, ano?
Okay? Banks
Okay.
prefer men to hire over women for managerial positions.
Glyza Ann Salvador,
Salvador.
sabi niya ha, sa 9SPJ, sabi niya ma'am, bias daw yan ha. Angeli Pineda ng 9 Darwin, sabi niya bias.
Okay, so let's see whether Glyza is correct. So she answered
Bias daw,
bias.
Ayan,
Okay,
tingnan
let
natin.
us see.
Tadadad, tadad.
Okay,
Yay!
very good,
Yay.
Glyza.
Okay. Bakit bias?
Bias.
Okay.
Oo.
May preference
Okay, why
kasi.
bias? Because there is already an
Preference.
unfair treatment.
Yes, may preference yan ng ano, di ba? Prepare
Yes.
men.
Banks
Ayan.
prefer men, so it is already unfair.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that is why we could classify it as
Bias.
bias.
Okay.
Okay? So we have our first winner.
Si Glyza. Ayan ha.
Glyza
This afternoon, we're
Salvador.
going to give a 10 peso worth
Yeah.
of loan.
Galing kay ano natin yung ating si Ma'am yung ating sponsor. Yan, maraming salamat po kay Ma'am Nevada. Tama ba ako? Ma'am Thea Anta? Tama ba ako?
Yes.
Thea? Is it Thea?
It's-
Sa Nevada, Ma'am Nevada, di ba? Siya yung ating sponsor. Yan.
yes. Okay,
Maraming salamat
so,
po. Yan.
Very good, Glyza Salvador. Let's proceed to the second one.
Yan.
Okay, let us have boys are always good in numbers and girls in language.
Ito ba
Okay.
yan?
Boys
Ayan.
are always good in numbers and girls in language.
Tingnan natin yung mga sagot na ng mga bata. Ito na, si Angeli Pineda, meron na siya sagot. 9 Darwin, prejudice. Yan.
Okay, so Angelique Pineda answered prejudice. Let's see whether she is correct. All right.
Hey, yan
Okay,
na.
why is it prejudice?
Oo.
Because based on the term, the statement uses always. So it means always good in numbers are just the boys. So we exclude the girls, it means there is already total discrimination. That is why we could classify it as prejudice. Okay, we have the term are always good. It means girls are not good. Okay,
Actually,
so
may tinatawag tayo yung by gender yan ang tinatalakay lang dyan.
Yes.
It's about gender. Ayan.
Yes.
Gender prejudices ang tawag natin dyan.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, congratulations to our two winners already. Okay, the third one. Dark-skinned men are better in sports than with the light-skinned.
Recently.
Again. Okay. Dark-skinned
Okay.
men are better in sports than with the light-skinned.
Ayan.
Okay, is it bias or prejudice?
Lorly Faye or ate? Prejudice. Is it prejudice?
Mhm.
Sige natin. Mayroon pa ibang sagot.
Or Almira Kalamayan Banyaga of 9SPJ answered bias.
Okay, so
Ang sagot ay
this is under
number,
bias. Okay, because we have here the word better in sports. So it means only the dark-skinned, okay,
our veteran sport.
are classified as good or better in sports rather than with the light skin. So it is bias.
May racial racial discrimination. Parang racial biases na about it.
Yes.
Ayan.
Okay. Number 4, people wearing fancy jewelry are poor. People wearing fancy jewelry are poor.
Ayan. Tignan natin ang mga sagot nila. Aha, wala pa sa mga sagot. Sige na. Ay, okay. Si Lori Faye Orate, ang sagot niya ay prejudice. Ayan.
Okay. So, Lori Faye is correct. So, it's prejudice.
Ayan. Last but not the
Okay.
least.
And the 5th one, we have concluding that a person who is chewing mama is a Highlander.
Ayan.
Okay, concluding that a person who is chewing mama is a Highlander.
Ano kaya ang sagot? Tingnan natin, ha? Okay, ito na po. Ayan, ako matik na. Number 5, Angel Ann Beltran Domingo. Bias, sabi niya. Totoo ba yan? Bias ba? Angeli Pineda, sabi niya, tama, Angeli Darwin, prejudice.
Okay, so Angeli got the correct answer, Teacher Dennis.
Jasmine, ano sagot ni Jasmine?
So we have
Hello,
prejudice.
Jasmine. Ayan, prejudice.
Okay, why prejudice? Okay, so we may have the second learner who got the correct answer.
Si Lori Faye Orate ulit, nilagay niya prejudice. Cristel Jane Fernandez Agunoy, prejudice.
So who is our second
Fifth.
learner?
Sino po yung kanina
Who
sa
got
inyo,
the
madam?
correct answer?
Ayan.
Si Maria Elisa Baniked. Mas nauna po ba siya? Hindi.
Elisa Baniked.
Baniked.
Okay, so what's the answer
sige.
of Maria Elisa Baniked?
Prejudice.
Okay. Because we have here the term concluding. So it means any person or a person who choose mama is Highlander. So we conclude it means it is already there is already a total discrimination.
Parang muli yan, ha? Mapatak yan sa racial, ha? Racial,
Yes.
racial
Okay, so
discrimination.
congratulations to
Yay!
our winners. Again, when we speak of bias, there is always an unfair treatment. While prejudice, there is a total discrimination.
Yes.
Okay, so that is the difference of the
The
two
two,
ideas or concepts. Okay, so congratulations
Yay!
to our winners for our review.
Yeah.
Okay, so you could still recall our past lesson. I guess you are now ready to venture to our first lesson for the 4th quarter.
Yan. So muli po, ha, makikinig na po tayo mga anak ng ating pong lesson ng RBI. Makinig na po tayo. Narito po ang ating RBI lesson for this day.
Dance Radio, silid aralan sa radyo, hatid namin makabago, paraan ang pagtuturo.
Wala nang makakapigil pa. Sulong Arangkada 106.3 Dance Radio sa Aurora, Isabela.
Edukasyo'y susulong, basta't magtulong-tulong, sulong edukalidad. Dance Radio, learning is amazing.
Language,
Grammar and Literature,
a program that will develop your vocabulary.
Comprehension, Critical and Analytical Skills.
This is the English Learning Area. English Learning Area. Only here on 106.3, the WDRFM Dance Radio.
Where learning is amazing.
Good morning, our dear listeners, especially the grade 9 learners. This is your school on the air, and it's English time. We are glad to be with you. I am your host for today, Teacher Jane Arlene S. Tapawan.
Wow!
With me is Teacher Michael John M. Tumula, our technical specialist.
Alright!
Let us discuss the topic titled Judge the Relevance and Worth of Ideas, Soundness of Author's Reasoning, and the Effectiveness of Presentation in your learning activity sheets. I hope you are in a comfortable place while listening on air. If you have any question about our lesson, you can contact our teacher through her email address and messenger account. To start with our lesson for today, may I introduce to you our energetic radio teacher, Teacher Nina Jenny C. Guillermo.
Good morning, our dear grade 9 learners, and to those who are listening right now. This is Teacher Nina Jenny C. Guillermo, ready to impart knowledge you need for today's lesson. Are you ready to a fun-filled lesson today?
Yes, ma'am!
Wow, I am pleased to hear that. Could you still remember our topic last quarter on differentiating biases from prejudices?
Yes, ma'am!
Before making judgment, what must one do?
Ma'am, since we tend to become biased or we prejudge people sometimes, we need to have a background first or make judgment based on a given criteria.
Exactly! We shall not only limit our thinking with what we know, but then let us be sensitive in knowing well our subject before giving our judgment.
Yes, ma'am!
Maybe you are wondering why we reviewed about making judgment. Could you guess why?
As I scan our last ma'am, our first lesson is all about judging the relevance, worth of ideas, and soundness of author's reasoning, ma'am.
Absolutely! You should not judge people based on status, gender, or race. For our lesson today, you are expected to first, determine the meaning of words through context clues. Second, have a brief background on the life of Benjamin Franklin. Third, listen and judge the relevance, worth of ideas, soundness of reasoning of Benjamin Franklin in his autobiography. And lastly, respond to questions given regarding the topic. It sounds interesting, doesn't it?
Yes, ma'am!
Do you know someone who went to seek for greater opportunity in other countries?
Yes, ma'am. My mom who is working in Singapore.
What do you think is the reason why she went to that place?
My mom would like to provide our family needs and for my schooling, ma'am.
You are fortunate that you have a mom like her who is courageous to face challenges just for your sake. You know that I have a friend who gave up his permanent job as a teacher here just to seek for a greener pasture in the United States. Do you want to hear his life story?
Yes, ma'am!
We were classmates during our first year in college. Then, in our second year, I took up secondary education while he chose to pursue elementary education. He did not receive any recognition when we graduated, but I know him being studious, patient, and determined to reach a dream. By the time we are already in the actual field of teaching, we seldom see and talk to each other. While he was teaching in the public school, he pursued his master's degree, then his doctor's degree in the school where we graduated. The degrees he acquired became his weapons in applying for a greener pasture in the United States. He was hired in 2019, and it's his third year now working as a teacher in one of the public elementary schools in Roswell, New Mexico. He struggled in his first year, but now he has totally adjusted to his work and to the place. Just like any overseas Filipino worker, he wants to uplift the quality of life of his family. He is now earning much, and his family, whom he loved so much, is now experiencing a good life.
Wow!
It sounds inspiring, doesn't it?
Yes, ma'am. He's an inspiration to all.
What did my friend do in order to have a good life for his family?
He worked as a teacher, and while teaching, he took his master's and doctor's degrees, ma'am.
Yes! Then, what did he do after finishing his graduate studies?
He applied in one of the government schools abroad, ma'am.
Exactly! What did you learn from our story?
Ma'am, I should study hard for me to reach my dreams.
That's very great! Today, we shall have a similar story to the one I have shared with you. The autobiography of Benjamin Franklin that we will use as a medium in judging the relevance, worth, and soundness of Franklin's ideas and reasoning. Let's get started. Are you holding your learning activity sheets now?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's test your power in determining the meaning of words through context clues. Before reading the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin, ready?
Yes, ma'am.
First, what is the meaning of the word feverish in this statement? She was feeling tired and feverish. A. Calm. B. Cool. And C. Warm. What do you think is the answer?
Feverish means warm. It's letter C, ma'am.
Correct! What about the second word? Ingenious. She was ingenious at finding ways to work more quickly. A. Clever. B. Dumb. And C. Uncreative. What is your answer?
It's letter A, ma'am. Ingenious means clever.
That's right. Let's have the next word. Infidel. What is meant by infidel in this statement? They wanted to secure the holy places from the infidel. A. One who opposes Christianity. B. One who acknowledges religious belief. And letter C. A believer in something understood. What is the correct meaning of infidel?
It's A, ma'am. Infidel is a person who opposes Christianity.
You are all very good, my dear learners. I hope that you have jotted down the vocabulary presented so that you could easily understand the text that you are going to read today. Besides the defined words that you will encounter in the autobiography, let's define other terms which help you understand better our lesson for today. Could you give me the meaning of relevance?
Relevance is a relation of an idea to the matter at hand. In Filipino, it is kaugnayan, ma'am.
All right. What about the word worth?
Worth is the value of something measured by its qualities, ma'am.
Worth in Filipino is halaga. What about soundness?
Soundness could mean the validity of an information, ma'am.
Very good! Did you get the meaning of the terms?
Yes, ma'am.
As we try to gather information from various sources to keep us updated, our capability to judge the truthfulness and relevance of ideas is imperative. We must remember that before we believe the articles or materials we have obtained, we should check first if it is factual or misleading. Did you get, my dear learners?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we shall now have the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin. Listen carefully as I give details about Benjamin Franklin's life, one of the leading figures of early American history. Benjamin Franklin was a statesman, author, publisher, scientist, inventor, and diplomat. Born into a Boston family of modest means, Franklin had little formal education. He went on to start a successful printing business in Philadelphia and grew wealthy. Franklin was deeply active in public affairs in his adopted city, where he helped launch a lending library, hospital, and college, and garnered praise for his experiments with electricity, among other projects. During the American Revolution, he served in the Second Continental Congress and helped draft the Declaration of Independence in 1776. He also negotiated the 1783 Treaty of Paris that ended the Revolutionary War in 1775 to 1783. In 1787, in his final significant act of public service, he was a delegate to the convention that produced the U.S. Constitution. I hope you learned something about Benjamin Franklin. This time, let us proceed with his autobiography. I know you are interested to know more about him, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's good. I guess you are now ready to listen with the text that we are going to discuss today and be ready to analyze the following questions. First, comment on Benjamin Franklin's determination to reach Philadelphia. Second, what is the reason for this determination to be in Philadelphia? How did you determine this? Next, what incidents in the essay show that Benjamin Franklin is a man who values more what he is doing and what his goal rather than what people say about his appearance? And lastly, what is your idea of breaking free? How does Franklin seem to define his idea of breaking free? Did you get, my dear learners?
Yes, ma'am. We got them all.
Listen carefully as I read the summary, the excerpts of his autobiography.
Autobiography of Benjamin Franklin. Failing to find work in New York City, Franklin at age 17 went on to Quaker-dominated Philadelphia, a much more open and religiously tolerant place than Puritan Boston. One of the most memorable scenes of Autobiography is the description of his arrival on a Sunday morning, tired and hungry. Finding a bakery, he asked for 3 pennies worth of bread and got 3 great coffee rolls. Carrying one under each arm and munching on the third, he walked up Market Street, past the door of the Road family, where stood Deborah, his future wife. She saw him and thought I made, as I certainly did, a most awkward, ridiculous appearance. A few weeks later, he was rooming at the Reeds and employed as a printer. By the spring of 1724, he was enjoying the companionship of other young men with a taste of reading, and he was also being urged to set up in business for himself by the governor of Pennsylvania, Sir William Kidd. At Kidd's suggestion, Franklin returned to Boston to try to raise the necessary capital. His father thought him too young for such a venture, so Kidd offered to foot the bill himself and arrange Franklin's passage to England so that he could use his type and make connections with London stationers and booksellers. Franklin exchanged some promises about marriage with Deborah Reed and with a young friend, James Ralph, as his companion, sailed for London in November 1724, just over a year after arriving in Philadelphia. Not until his ship was well out of the sea, he realized that Governor Kidd had not delivered the letters of credit and introduction he had promised. By 1726, Franklin was tiring of London. He considered becoming an itinerant teacher of swimming, but when Thomas Denham, a Quaker merchant, offered him a clerkship in his store in Philadelphia with the prospect of fat commissions in the West Indian trade, he decided to return home.
You have just heard the summary of the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin. Let us judge the relevance and worth of ideas, soundness of reasoning of the author Benjamin Franklin by responding to the questions given a while ago. First, would you mind to give comment on Benjamin Franklin's determination to reach Philadelphia?
Benjamin Franklin showed his determination to reach Philadelphia despite his difficult and challenging journey towards the place. He did not surrender until he reached his destination, even it cost him sacrifices.
What is the reason for his determination to be in Philadelphia?
Ma'am, Benjamin was determined to reach Philadelphia at the age of 17 because he wanted to make a new start in a new city. Franklin worked hard even as a teenager to pursue both his interests and his trade.
Benjamin was very young when he started his journey to Philadelphia. He believed that the place could give him greater opportunity. He struggled in reaching that place and faced challenges along the way. Benjamin conquered all those trials with courage, wisdom, strength, prayers, and great determination to succeed. My dear learners, what did you realize from his experiences in life?
Ma'am, for us to achieve our dreams, we must work hard and be determined in realizing them.
Exactly! Let's proceed to the next question. What incidents in the essay show that Benjamin Franklin is a man who values more what he is doing and his goal rather than what people will say about his appearance?
Ma'am, the first incident when Benjamin Franklin gave a copper coin to a boatman for his passage. Then he said, "Man is sometimes more generous when he has little money than when he has plenty." And second, when he gave some gingerbread to a woman and her child in his encounter with them on the river.
How does Franklin define his idea of breaking free?
Ma'am, Benjamin Franklin defines breaking free as the ability to express himself and his goals openly.
You are doing great today, my dear learners. With your responses, truly, you are all good listeners and active participants for today's lesson. When we get back, I want you to assess the effectiveness of his presentation.
Do you encounter problems in accomplishing the different activities in your modules or learning activity sheets?
Worry no more because your teachers are always ready to guide and assist you. You can send your questions or clarifications in 2 easy ways. 1. Call or text. And 2. Private message. So easy, right? Remember, at Doña Aurora National High School, we make amazing things possible.
This reminder is brought to you by Doña Aurora National High School and this station.
Are you still there, my dear learners?
Yes, ma'am.
After listening to the autobiography of Benjamin Franklin, how does it influence you as a young dreamer?
Ma'am, it made me think that in achieving my dream, I should not only think about it, but I must act more on it.
Impressive! Indeed, for a dream to be realized, we must work on it. What else?
Ma'am, it made me realize that trials and challenges are parts of success. That along the way, our determination, strength, patience, firmness, and faith in God will be tested.
Very well said. Expect that along your journey to success, you will encounter those things. Keep in mind that no matter what happens along your journey, never give up and keep on fighting for your dreams. Now, we're ready to move to our activity. Let's have the activity on your learning activity sheets titled Web It. You are tasked to give at least one symbol in which the character Benjamin Franklin represents his aspirations. From that symbol, his views and actions about life will be revealed. Could you give me one?
Ma'am, for me, boat is a good representation of Benjamin's aspirations.
Why do you say so?
Same as the boat, which always floats, no matter how big the waves and strong the winds are, he persevered and never surrendered in spite of the big challenges he faced.
Absolutely! Besides the boat, what other symbols represent his aspirations?
His dirty clothes, ma'am. Dirty clothes symbolize his diligence or hard work. They were his evidence that attaining success in life is hard work and never easy.
Great idea! I hope you get something worthwhile in our discussion today. Let's summarize our lesson for today by telling me what you have learned. Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
How could a reader judge the relevance, worth of ideas, soundness of author's reasoning, and effectiveness of his presentation?
As a reader, first, I need to read and analyze well the author's ideas in the text. Second, I need to assess whether I could relate and I could apply his experiences in my own life. Third, I need to assess whether his ideas are worth emulating. And lastly, I need to assess whether his presented ideas in the text give great impacts in my life as a learner, ma'am.
Perfectly said. For the evaluation, you are going to tell whether the given statement expresses truth or falsity. Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Write true if the statement expresses truth and false if it does not. Let us start with the first one. We should learn how to assess and filter data before we react or believe in a certain issue. What is the correct answer?
True, ma'am.
You are correct. Second, as we try to gather information from various sources to keep us updated, our capability to judge the truthfulness and relevance of ideas is optional. What is the answer?
It is false, ma'am. It's imperative to judge its truthfulness.
Very good. Third, as a receiver of information, we need to sharpen our skills in judging the relevance and worth of one's ideas, since we may have to use it as basis of our personal decisions in some situations. What is your answer?
It's true, ma'am.
You are right. You now know how to judge keenly. You all deserve a round of applause. Thank you for your active participation. I will now turn you over to our radio host, Teacher Jane Ardian.
Thank you, Teacher Nina Jenny. You've just heard the lesson on judging the relevance, worth of ideas, soundness of author's reasoning, and the effectiveness of the presentation. On behalf of the production team, we would like to acknowledge our radio teacher, Teacher Nina Jenny Guillermo, our script writer, Teacher Shirley C. Acosta, our technical specialist, Teacher Michael John M. Tumulag.
All right.
Our language editor, Teacher Jonah A. Buduan.
Wow.
And our content editor and head teacher, Teacher Ophelia S. Ralutin. Again, thank you for being with us. This is your host, Teacher Jane Arlene, signing off.
Language,
Grammar, and literature.
a program that will develop your vocabulary.
Comprehension, critical and analytical skills.
This is the English Learning Area. Only here on 106.3, the WDR-FM Dance Radio.
Where learning is amazing.
bago, paraan ang pagtuturo.
Wala nang makakapigil pa. Sulong Arangkada 106.3 Dance Radio sa Aurora, Isabela.
Edukasyo'y susulong, basta na magtulong-tulong. Sulong edukalidad, Dance Radio. Learning is amazing.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, hello grade 9 learners. I hope you are having a wonderful time as we go through with our discussion today. So thank you to our 50 active grade 9 learners. So here's the flow of the discussion today, my dear learners. So first, I will give you the introduction of our topic. Second, Teacher Raquel will discuss the motivation and guide questions about a given situation. Third, Teacher Susana will elaborate how one would judge the relevance and truthfulness of the information from social media, and a task about the topic will be given. Then, Teacher Dennis will give you a task about the latest news on social media, and you will be assessed through given questions. So make sure you have your pen and paper, because once again, we will be exploring the wonders of the universal language. So let's get started. So, could you still remember these symbols?
Our PowerPoint, please.
Okay, so we have here the like and
Okay.
unlike sign.
Mhm.
What does like sign imply? What about unlike sign? So, like sign would mean you are in favor with something or someone about a particular issue, while unlike sign or thumbs down would mean the other way around. So, what particular topic last quarter that we used those symbols? So, could you still remember? So, of course, a while back we have the review. So, our topic before was about bias and prejudice. So, if these symbols are combined and would result to positive and negative effects, then it is bias. Okay? While prejudice results only to negativity. Okay, so we may relate our previous topic with these mathematical symbols. Okay? So, before making judgment, okay, what must one do? Okay? Since we tend to become biased or we prejudge, sometimes we need to have a background first or make judgment based on a given criteria. We shall not only limit our thinking with what we know, okay? But then let us be sensitive in knowing well our subject before giving our own judgment. So, beside discussing bias and prejudice, last quarter, you determined the relevance and the effectiveness of the material viewed by using the play Death of a Salesman. A while back, you have listened to a text, the Autobiography of Benjamin Franklin. So you were instructed to judge the relevance and worth of ideas, soundness of reasoning, and effectiveness of the author's presentation. Okay, you have experienced making judgment based on what you have watched and based on what you have read already. So this time, you're going to apply your judgment, okay, based on what you see, what you hear, and what you believe in social media. Okay? So, what is judgment exactly? Okay? So, let us define the word judgment. So, Lee Kierman defines it as the ability to combine personal qualities with relevant knowledge and experience to form opinions and take decisions. Okay, to simplify, judgment is an opinion that you have or express after thinking carefully about something. Okay, so we may have that word in our Filipino and Iloco version or Ilocano version. So in Filipino, we have judgment is paghuhukom. Okay? In Iloco, we have the term pangideng. Okay? So, we are going to apply today our judgment on the relevance and truthfulness of the informations we get in social media since we are on the screen era. So, to start with, let us have Teacher Raquel.
Yes. So, in this time of pandemic, the digital age, online media play a crucial role as we obtain much of the information we need through many platforms available such as YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc. Each provides rapid dissemination of information, which also allows us to access news to keep us updated. But we have to remember that not everything we see or hear in social media is true. As a responsible netizen, our task is to think before we click. Therefore, we should learn how to assess and filter data before we react or believe in a certain issue. So, Mario, let us have the questions to be answered afterward. So, we will give you a conversation later on. So, these are the questions to be answered. Number 1, which statements are more convincing? Clara's or Mario's? Why? And then number 2, what do you think is the impact of unconfirmed information spreading online? Okay, so are you ready to listen to our conversation together with Sir Dennis? Okay, I will act as Clara and Sir Dennis will be Mario. Ready, sir? Okay. So this is the conversation. Have you read the Facebook post circulating online since May 16? It was confirmed that the COVID Omicron subvariant has already reached our country. According to my friend, there is already a local transmission in our country. She said that we have already 10 cases. I am worried about this because until now I do not have yet my booster.
I think you are worrying for nothing because earlier today, May 18, 2022, I have read some news from Inquirer.net published by news correspondent Nestor Corrales. Based on the article, the Department of Health remained cautious, announcing a local transmission of the new Omicron subvariant BA2.12.1 found in 2 Filipinos without travel history outside the country.
All right. Gagaling.
Gagaling naman ninyo.
Okay. So that is the conversation. Right? So let's go back to the guide questions, okay? So the two characters in the above in the comic strip or in the conversation.
Nagmamarites ka.
Okay?
Correct.
Number 1 question. Let's answer. Which statements are more convincing? Clara's or Mario's? Why? What's your answer, sis? Mom Susan.
Yes. Which statements are more convincing? Clara's or Mario's? Why? Okay, it's Mario's statements. Why? Because Mario has basis in giving his statements. His story is based on Inquirer.net, published by news correspondent Nestor Corrales. The Department of Health had clarified the issue about the COVID Omicron subvariant.
Yes.
Hindi siya marites.
Yes.
Correct.
Ganon din ang sagot ni Christian Vino ng 9 Darwin.
Uy,
I
may
would believe
sumagot,
Mario, sabi niya. I would believe Mario were more because he presented reliable sources, which means that what he said is more believable, sabi niya.
Yes.
Okay, very
Thank you,
good.
Mario. That's right. So, Maria's source is from a reliable source.
Yes.
Ikaw ba, Sir Dennis, kapag sinabi ng friend mo, ay, nanalo na si BBM, maniniwala ka na agad?
Siyempre, kailangan meron tayong patotoo, ma'am. We need to have what we call that, reliable data.
Yes. So, hintayin natin yung official report from
ganun.
COMELEC.
Yes.
Okay. So, thank you, Christian Vino, for your answer, anak.
Meron pa si MJ Yanbot Reyes. Sabi niya, para sa kanya, si Mario din, no? Since he was able to present sources which make what he said to be more reliable and believable. Ayan, lahat sila.
Gagaling.
Yes.
Okay, so let's proceed to the next question. What do you think is the impact of unconfirmed information spreading online? Sir Dennis.
Yan, bago natin basahin yung yung sagot ng mga bata. Sabi dito ay ano ba yung aking iniisip, no? Yung impact ng unconfirmed information spreading online. Siyempre, people will just believe of what other people say. Ganun yun, without confirming the real story. Then the information will stay true for those who do not have reliable source, and it would affect their lives once the impact of the information is negative. Bali pala eh. Nauna ka na nagkuhan, di ba? Naniwala ka na kaagad. Ay, patay yung presidente, binaril eh. Huh?
Yes.
Di ba? Magre-react ka na kaagad.
Tama. If that is a sensitive content, then it can cause panic talaga.
Yes, ma'am. Kaya mahirap yung ganun, yung kapag nag-spread tayo ng mga unconfirmed information online. Diyan pumapasok yung tinatawag nating fake news. Ganyan.
So let us assess whether it is fake or fact.
Yes.
Fact check.
May sagot ba yung mga estudyante, Sir Dennis?
Naguluhan yata sila sa akin.
Number one pa lang ang mga sagot.
Ay, naka-number. Sige.
Oo. Reserve nyo yan, mga anak, mamaya sa ating computation. Okay? So, it's been a year.
Call up time!
Yes.
Hey, call up time!
It's been a year when we had the first COVID Delta variant, and this variant surged last September. So, the time when I and teacher Shirley experienced COVID for the first time.
Yes. COVID is real.
Isama nyo na ako, ha?
Ay, oo, lahat tayo.
Ako nauna.
Nauna si Teacher Susan. Do you know health projections about this new Omicron subvariant? Okay, based on DOH projections, the 7-day moving average may reach as high as 7,702 cases. And hospital occupancy may go up to 5,512 nationwide in July this year if the variant enters the country. Yes, if lang. Okay, it's call-up time daw.
It's call-up time.
So, hospital cases per day. Okay, so, if you have already your partner, okay, one will compute for the actual cases per day.
Yes.
Yes, and one will compute for the hospital cases per day. How many days in a week?
Ayun.
Ilan ba? Ilan ba ang days in a week? So this is the problem. Ready na ba kayo? Ay, by the way, you may call this number.
Yes, sige ma'am.
Okay, if you already have your answer. Okay, take notes. 0926-2137-155. I repeat, 0926-2137-155.
Call na!
Yes.
At nanalo.
If we have 7,702 cases in a week, okay, how many cases do we have per day? Ilang days bang isang week? Okay. And then the other problem, how about the hospital cases per day if we have 5,512 in a week?
So, learners are obliged to give two responses, Teacher Raquel.
Oh, yes. The first one,
Oo.
Daily
cases.
Second one,
Hospital cases naman siya.
That is why they need to have a partner for them to answer the problem easily.
Yes.
Okay.
Sige po.
One will compute for the
Tawag
daily
na po kayo. Ano ulit number, ma'am? Number po natin ulit ay?
0926-21-37155.
Yes. Okay. We are waiting for your call. Tawag na. Tawag na. Tawag na kayo.
Go, go, go.
Ayan, nang kayo po ay yan, magkaroon kayo ng pagkakataon na makatanggap ng isang daan to. Isang daan. Dalawa kasi daan eh. Kaliwa kanan. Anong daan kayo doon? Way. Ang sa English. Okay. Magkano ito tatanggapin? Sige, tatanggap sila ng ano? Magkano ba?
Magkano?
100 pesos.
Magkano ba?
Okay, let's give them this time 20 peso each.
20 pesos.
Yes.
May tumatawag na sa atin. Ayan. Ayan. May tumatawag na. Ayan. Hello? Ay, hello. Sandali lang. Hello?
Hello?
997-069-0619. Sino po sila? Anak. Anak, Natasha Pearl Chan. Ayan. O sige anak, ano ang sagot natin? Okay.
100. How about the...
Ano na yun? Ben, ayan. Tignan natin.
Yung ano, nasaan si...
Is it correct?
Oo. Nasaan si ano?
Pearl?
Oo. Sumagot ba si Natasha?
Si Natasha. Nasaan si Natasha?
Asan
Nandiyan
si
ba, anak?
Natasha?
Ano nangyari?
Ba?
Paano daw nyo nakuha, anak? Mali.
Wait lang, sir.
Paano nyo nakuha? Kasi ako nakuha ko sa tindahan.
Let's go back to the data.
Ayan, ang data natin. Ayan.
$1,000. What about the other one? From
Araw lang tayo.
We have, so how many cases for hospital cases?
Actually, aso yun. Yung aso yun, nagkasakit din yung aso nila.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you. Ayan, ang galing naman.
Thank you, sir.
Raquel, we have the
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Hindi natin narinig yung boses ni Natasha.
Kasi nasa chat daw siya.
Okay.
Anak, nandiyan ka pa?
Yes, sir.
Kasi chat nga pala, hindi pala sila.
Nasa chat lang.
Oo, sige.
Okay.
Sige, salamat anak ha.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Hi, mga loads nyo.
Angeli and
Angeli.
Natasha.
Thank you. Okay,
Okay,
bye-bye.
during the Delta surge in September last year, the one-week average peaked at 5,926 and admissions rose to 4,413. So, Omicron transmits faster than Delta. Mas mabilis si Omicron kaysa kay Delta. Yes, that is only a projection of the Department of Health.
Okay, by the way, in the computation of our learners,
Yes.
so we may have the decimal point for 1,100. Anyway, it's just a matter of 0.29.
Yes.
0.29.
Okay, so we may have 1,100 cases Okay, so cases per day approximately. And
Mhm.
then for 787, it's just a matter of 0.43.
Mhm.
So we may have 787 as daily hospital occupancy.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay. Mhm.
Okay, so again, congratulations, Angeli and Natasha of 9
Yes, ang
Darwin.
galing.
Yay! Now,
Yay!
it's my turn.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as we try to gather information from various sources or platforms to keep us updated, our capability to judge the truthfulness and relevance of ideas is required. We must remember that before we believe the article we have obtained, we should check first if it is factual or misleading. Thus, we must know the different tips on how to distinguish factual or truthful information from a faulty one. Yan. Sikat na sikat yan, itong mga nakaraan, di ba?
Mhm.
So what is relevance and truth? Relevance. Relevance is how appropriate something is to what is being said at a given time. In Filipino, relevance means kaugnayan. In Iloco, pakainaigan. Anya iti pakainag-igan daytoy nga issue. Itibiyag mo itata. Parang ganon. Kaugnayan, di ba? Relevance. May relevance ba yan? Pag warang relevance, wag na. Okay. Now, here are the tips on how to spot factual or truthful information. Number 1, you must consider the source. Investigate the site you are viewing or reading. The most important thing to remember about social media is that platforms such as Facebook, Tumblr, or Pinterest is that they are not sources. They link to sources, but because those links are usually shared by people we know, we often decide to trust them based on our opinion of the person who shared them rather than the quality of the story itself. So we have here a list of websites. Are you familiar with Rappler?
Mhm. Yes,
Okay.
kilala yan eh.
As a social news network that's purely online-based siya. So Rappler makes news for current events,
Mhm.
business, lifestyle, entertainment, opinion, sports, and technology. You are also familiar with this website, I'm so sure. You have ABS-CBN News, you have GMA News Online, Interaction, and CNN Philippines. These news websites are the online counterpart of respective news programs in the Philippines. So aside from TV broadcast, they also do simulcast news articles for the web. So other than news, they also report business, weather, entertainment, and other important information. Siyempre, hindi rin pahuhuli dyan yung ating print media or yung newspaper. So we have Inquirer, Philstar, Manila Bulletin, Manila Times, are newspaper outfits in the Philippines. And in response to the growing number of people in social media, various print media made their own online version. So these newspapers are known to be the most trusted broadsheets in the Philippines. And we also have this, the Official Gazette. Siyempre, meron ding counterpart ang ating government. The Official Gazette of the Republic of the Philippines is the main source of the news related to the government and the current administration. This government portal contains press releases, publications of legal issuances, historical papers, and archives. Now let's go back to relevance and truth. So how does one know whether the information being provided is correct or accurate? Paano mo malalaman kung yung mga information na binigay sa'yo ng Rappler, ng ABS-CBN News, GMA News, CNN, Inquirer, Philstar, Manila Bulletin, and the likes, ay totoo? Ang sabi dito, the best way to ensure this is by cross-checking the information received from one source with another source. Why? Double sourcing or multiple sourcing will contribute to, dapat meron kasi ito accuracy, balance, and objectivity. So aside from yung mga nabanggit, meron din tayong iba, like SMNI, meron tayong Net25, at meron din tayong pupwedeng iba pang mga sources. Tapos i-cross-check mo. Bakit ito sinasabi niya ganito? Bakit naman ito ganito? Then you content analyze also yung mga programs nila. Baka naman yung isa ay dito naglilin o meron siyang pinapanigan, ganyan. Okay, so that's it. Now, next, number 2, read beyond. Headlines can be eye-catching in an effort to get clicks, so you should focus on the whole story. Remember, clickbait refers to the practice of writing sensationalized or misleading headlines in order to attract clicks on a piece of content. Okay. So reading beyond would mean reading everything what is stated in the news. We need to get in order to verify the truthfulness of the news read. You have to read and look for details such as statistics, date, time, etc. Check the author. That's number 3. Do a quick search on the author to find out if they are real and credible. Gather background information about him or her by searching him on the net if he or she is really recognized as a news writer of that particular site. Number 4, verify supporting sources. Determine if the given information actually supports the story. Beside the credible website where the news is taken, we must check also authorities providing the details of the news. Number 5, check the date. Reposting old news stories does not mean they're relevant. That's number 4. Number 5, check the date. Reposting old news stories does not mean they're relevant to current events. It should be updated. So now that you know the different tips on how to spot factual and truthful information, let us verify your answers on the first activity. Let's do the fact check by accomplishing the table below, or the table which will be, yan na, nasa screen nyo na. Put a check on the corresponding box for each item if it was clearly provided by the speaker. The person who will get the most checks is therefore the one who stated truthful ideas. Now, let us have the table. Okay? Let us have the table. So that's it. There are 3 columns. Number 1, information provided by the speaker. So we have here the 2 speakers, Clara and Mario. Now, let's check. Source of Clara, from a friend. So narinig lang niya sa kanyang friend. How about Mario? From Inquirer.net. Next, supporting details or reading beyond the lines. 0 kay Clara. How about from Mario? The Department of Health clarified the issue. Then, author, Clara, none. For Mario, it's Nestor Corrales. Then next, we have the supporting sources. Clara, wala din. Mario, based on the article, the Department of Health remained cautious, announcing a local transmission of the new Omicron subvariant BA2.12.1 found in 2 Filipinos without travel history outside the country. How about the date? Clara, May 16. Nauna yung Marites. Mario, yung fact, it's May 18, 2022. Okay, so that's it. Based on our checklist, it's Mario who stated truthful ideas. It's very evident on our checklist that he met all the set criteria. Okay.
Okay, so we have Mario who gave the necessary informations needed for the majority of people who would like to get the correct information.
Yes, that's it.
Okay, so in connection to our topic today, so less than 3 months since our country relaxed its restrictions to alert level 1. With the confirmation of local transmission, Bergeri said that the local government units are now intensifying the 4-door strategy to prevent further transmission of the virus. Okay, so we have here the 4-door strategy. So the 4-door strategy is a national government-enabled, local government-led, and people-centered response to help mitigate the spread of COVID-19 and prepare for a possible rise in cases. So we have the 4 doors. Okay, so we have the first door. Okay, implementing travel restrictions and bans as a separate and primary level of defense to supplement the currently implemented health protocols. Okay, so this is the new way of simplifying our health protocols nowadays. Okay, so the second door is ensuring safeguards are implemented. Screening, testing, and quarantine at points of entry to lessen the risk of incoming travelers from triggering the local spread of the variants of concern. Okay, for door 3, strengthening the implementation of the prevent, detect, isolate, treat, reintegrate strategies to immediately detect and isolate possible COVID-19 cases. And the fourth door, we have strengthening health and critical capacity and systems against a rise in cases to ensure proper and timely COVID-19 management and continuity of essential services. So beside those strategies, it's very important that we are fully vaccinated so that we could prevent the spread of whatever variant that may come in our country. So our healthy lifestyle is still the best remedy for diseases and is still our best weapon to combat COVID-19. So this time, Teacher Dennis will give you update about one of the latest news in our country.
Okay, we have here, so you need to listen carefully to the news and be ready to answer the given questions. The headline is, COVID cases in Philippines may increase to more than 500 a day due to Omicron subvariant, according to the expert. Written by Daphne Galvez, reporter, taken from the Inquirer.net media outlet, dated May 19, 2022. Here's this story. Manila, Philippines. There is a big possibility that there will be an uptick of COVID-19 cases in the country, even going up to high as to over 500 cases per day due to the presence of a new sublineage of Omicron BA 2.12.1, an infectious disease expert said Thursday. Dr. Rongente Solante said that upticks in the number of infections may be experienced especially in areas with low vaccination coverage and in dense population like Metro Manila. However, despite the feared increase of cases, it may not affect the hospitalization rate of the country. He added, "We expect that cases will increase, especially in areas with low vaccination rate. It is important to note that the sublineage has a high transmissibility rate. Vulnerable are population that have no vaccination at all. There is a high chance that the cases will go up, but he think it will. He don't think it will affect our hospitalization rate." He said cases may go up to more than 500 a day, especially in regions with low vaccination rate. He also pointed out that true number of COVID-19 may not be accurately reflected since testing for the disease is also low, with some opting not to get tested despite having symptoms. Solante said also, it might not be able to reflect kung ano daw yung totoong number of cases na nangyayari ngayon sa ground over that of those who were tested and found positive in the RT-PCR. Ayan. Yan ang ating balita taken from Inquirer.net. Now, so for our processing questions, I want you to answer at least these 5. Tama, ma'am? 5 lang ito?
It's 10. Ay, 5
multiple choice, then 5 multiple choice. Again, key in your answer in our comment box with only the correct letter. Okay. Ito na po ang ating number 1 question. Number 1 question. If you really understood the lesson or the article, what is the news all about? Is it A, 500 Omicron subvariant cases detected in our country? B, new Omicron subvariant cases in our country? Or C, the possible increase of Omicron subvariant in our country? Is it A, B, or C? Okay. Your answer.
Don't forget to type also the item number,
yes, the item
plus
number
the letter
1,
of the correct answer.
Okay, yan. Oh, may sumagot na rito sa atin si Christian Vino. 9 Darwin, sabi niya, sagot niya number 1, C.
Okay, let's see if he is correct.
Tignan natin.
Okay.
Ayan, letter C nga ang sagot. The possible increase of Omicron subvariant in our country.
Okay,
Ayan.
very good, Christian Bino.
Ayan, nanalo ka na, hanak. Ayan. Number 2 question. Number 2 na tayo. Ayan. Number 2. Tama ba? What is the purpose of the news? Tama ba? What is the purpose of the news? Is it A, to inform, B, to entertain, or C, to persuade? A, B, C. Okay, ano pong sagot natin? Number 2, may sumagot na sa atin. Number 2, Thea May Galabay. 9 Darwin, A. Number 2, letter A, sabi niya.
Okay, let's see, Thea, if your answer is correct. So, it's letter A.
Ang
Very
galing. Ayan.
Okay.
Yung pong mga mananalo, yung pong natatawag namin ng pangalan, please inform your subject teacher po na kayo po yung natawag.
With your mobile number.
Yan, puro letter A yan sagot nila. Very good mga anak, ang galing. Naunahan lang kayo talaga. Okay, next po natin ha. Natasha Perta. What makes it truthful? Ayan, what makes it truthful? Is it A, it provides factual information? B, it is from a well-known news site? Or C, it has a convincing broadcaster? Yan, ano yan? A, B, or C? Ayan, ang sagot natin ay magkano ba ibibigyan natin? 10 pesos pa rin to?
10 pesos worth of
Ayan, Charmel and
Charmel
Ramirez.
and Ramirez.
Ang sagot niya ay 9 Lanzones ay 3A. Yan, tama?
Okay, let's
Is
see.
it letter A?
Okay, so
Letter
it's
A, ayan. Sa sorting naman. Ayan, ang pangalan ng bata, Charmel and Ramirez. Ayan, okay,
The
next.
news provides factual information.
It provides factual information. Ayan, I say number 4. Let's have number 4. Which of the following makes the news relevant? Ayan. Is it A, it states issues that are prevalent nowadays? Letter B, it provides information that the public needs. Or letter C, both A and B. Ayan. Mas madali na naman sagot ito. Ayan.
Okay,
Sige.
in your answer in the comment box.
Yes, ano siya ha? Ayan.
Okay, with
What's your answer?
And Lori Faye Orate, ang sagot niya, C. Ayan. Tignan natin kung tama sagot niya.
Let's see. Okay.
Ayan! Galing naman ni Lori Faye Orate. Ayan, okay. So number 5. Ang tanong natin ay, which of the following statements does not supplement the given news? Is it A, Dr. Rogente Solante said that upticks in the number of infections may be experienced, especially in areas with low vaccination coverage and in dense population like Metro Manila? B, the feared increase of cases, it may affect the hospitalization rate of the country? Or C, cases may go up to more than 500 a day, especially in regions with low vaccination rate. Ano ang sagot natin? Ayan,
let's see whether really our grade 9 learners listen.
Oo.
Okay,
Gerald Fernandez, 9 Atis, ang sabi niya, letter C. Ayan. Thea May Galabay, ang sagot ng 9 Darwin sabi ay letter C. Maria Eliza Baniged, letter C. Natasha Pertan, letter C. Ayan. Hazel Joy Ruiz Valmores, letter C. Ayan. Ano kayong sagot? Ano ba yung tanong? Which of the following statement, diba?
Does not
supplement the given news Does not supplement the hindi siya nagbibigay ng tamang supplemente. Ayan.
Yes.
Lahat sila, letter C. Ano ba yung letter C? Cases may go up to more than 500 days, especially in regions with low vaccination case. Rate, I mean.
Si Lori Faye Orate na.
Ayan. Si Lori Faye Orate, sabi niya, letter B. Sabi naman niya. Ayan.
Okay, so let's see.
Hazel
What's the answer
Joy.
of Lorly?
Letter B. Sabi naman ni Hazel Joy Ruiz Balmores, letter B. Sabi niya. Glaza Ann Salvador, letter B. Kasi wala.
Okay, but Lorly was the one who answered first D.
Yes, siya
letter
kasi
B.
sumagot. Ano sagot natin ay?
So majority answered C.
C,
so
oo.
maybe they got confused of their answer. But
Yes.
really, the correct answer is letter B.
B, yan.
Okay, why? Because the feared increase of cases may not affect the hospitalization rate of the country according to the news. Okay.
Ayan.
That is why the correct answer is letter B.
B.
It may not affect the hospitalization rate.
Kasi sabi nito does not supplement supplement the given news. Actually, meron talagang takot kapag lumaki yun. The feared increase, sabi it may affect the hospital talaga yun. Galing talaga yun, ha?
So it was Lorly Faye who got the correct answer.
Okay.
Okay.
Na dumako tayo sa number 6.
Lorly
True or
Faye.
false, ha? 6 to 10. Ito, number 6 to 10. True or false lang, mga anak, ang ilalagay nyo, ha? Ayan. True or false? Comment true if the statement express truth about the news presented, and false if it expresses falsity. Ayan. Okay. Number 6. The source of the news is taken from the inquirer.net. Ano siya? True or false? Tiririt.
Okay, let's see.
Pipili naman tayo mga hindi pa. Si Gerald Fernandez, 9 Atis, ang tawag niya.
True or false?
Sige, tanggapin na natin yung baka ko lang to, nagmamadali lang siya. Si Gerald Fernandez, Atis. Chiu.
Okay, so Gerald got the correct answer. It's true.
Kwan lang yan siguro.
Okay, don't forget to type also the item number.
Item number, ha? Tama siya.
Okay, number 7.
Number 7. There are 500 new cases of COVID-19 Omicron subvariant in the country. Is it true or false?
Okay. So what's the answer of our learners?
Gerald Fernandez ulit, sabi niya, false. Si Christian Vino ng Darwin, sabi niya, false. Angelica Pineda ng 9 Darwin, true.
Okay, so who got the
number 6?
First correct answer?
Ano ba sagot natin, ma'am?
False.
False daw, ha? Nanalo na si Gerald Fernandez kanina eh.
Okay, it's Gerald Fernandez for item number 7.
Yes.
Gerald Fernandez.
Yes,
congratulations.
Gerald Fernandez, number 7, Gerald Fernandez.
No, number 6 is Lorly.
Lori Faye.
Yes, 7 is Gerald.
Yes, ayan.
Okay.
Okay, sige natin number 8. Number 8. Pabilisan na lang tayo dito mga anak, ha. Nagmamadali tayo, wala tayong oras. We have 2 news. Nakita na yung ano. Number 9 lang, ma'am. Number 9, ma'am. Number 9 natin.
Okay, number 9. Let's proceed to number 9.
Number 9, mga anak, ha. Okay, number 9. Yes, ma'am, kasi nakita. The news was released in May 19, 2022, 12:42 p.m. Philippine Standard Time. Number 9, anak. Number 9 ang sasagutin natin. The news was released May 19, 2022, 12:42 p.m. Philippine Standard Time. Yan. Hindi ko nabanggit yung
answer of Edessa Santos.
Angel Ann Beltran Domingo, 9 Lanzones. Ang sagot niya ay true. Ayan.
Okay.
Yan.
So let's see. It's true.
Yes. Angel Ann Beltran Domingo, 9 Lanzones.
Number 9.
Yan. Yung number 9 yan, ma'am. Number 9. Okay. Number 10.
Angel Ann Domingo.
Angel Ann Beltran Domingo, 9 Lanzones. True. Okay. Number 10. Ito na number 10 natin. There is high transmissibility of the new Omicron subvariant, especially those who have their first dose only. Is it true or false? Ayan. Number 10, ha?
Okay. So?
Ang sagot ay tararat. Christian Bino, sabi na niya, false.
Okay, you are correct,
Christian Bino, nauna talaga siya.
Okay, why false? Because the news did not state for first dose only.
Yes.
Okay, so
congrats.
yes. So congratulations to our winners. This time, I am going to share some protective rituals of the indigenous people. Okay. Haven't you noticed that we seldom hear news about their COVID cases? Okay, so my dear learners, listen as I share their protective rituals. Okay, so for elders in the tourist town of Sagada, okay, they perform the Sede. Okay? Sede, a ritual invoking the Supreme Being Lumawig to cleanse and protect the town from an epidemic. Okay, while in Bontok, okay, the revered ama or elder, Changat-Fangat performed the Manengte, a ritual that involved divining omens from the internal organs of a sacrificial chicken. And in Malibkong, in Cordilleras Abro Province, the indigenous Itneg people performed the Sagubay, a similar ritual to ward off disease and pestilence. And of course, Cordillerans have high regard for advice or rituals prescribed by the elders of the Dapay or Ato. Okay, the indigenous government system because of the belief in Inayan, a concept akin to karma. Okay, so our culture and traditions existed long before hospitals were put up in communities, and they are critical key to why we have survived this far. So this is taken from Governor Lakwasan. So they have their preventive rituals to at least prevent this kind of pandemic, okay, COVID-19. Okay, so congratulations to our dear learners. Okay, so
Yes, okay.
let us try to sum up our discussion this afternoon. Okay, with this fill in the blanks activity. So when we get information in social media, okay, we have clues based on the pictures. Okay? So what do you think is number 1? Consider okay, when we try to get informations, we need to get the what? A 5-letter word? Okay, so we should consider the source. Okay, what
ayan.
about the second one? So, based on the picture, what do we need to have that beyond? So, we are going to read beyond. Okay, for number 3, check who wrote that one, for example, author. Okay, we have number 4, verify the supporting details and check the author.
Ang galing.
Okay, so we need to consider those aspects in getting information in social media.
Ayan.
Okay, so we need to consider the source, read beyond, check the author, verify the supporting details, and check always the date. Okay, so that's all for today. So I hope that you had an amazing time with us. So let's have again your teachers in English, Teacher Raquel, Teacher Susana, and Teacher Dennis.
Hello.
Okay, and of course, yours truly, Teacher Shirley. Stay tuned for the next RBI lesson next week. So our lesson for next week is reacting to critical issues using value judgment. Okay, keep safe, everyone. As I always say, remember, never stop learning because life never stops teaching. Okay, so see you again next week.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
God bless.
Till next time.
Facts and information. Today's learning for you normal with capable teachers whose heart and soul are divine. Delivered knowledge inside your home through 106.3 Dance Radio. Fully dedicated to serve the public in tribute to education, reproduce of radio-based instruction. We are pleased to deliver the utmost aim of education. Only here on 106.3 TWTR-FM. Ito ang 106.3 Dance Radio. Dance Radio.
Prepare yourself.
Ang silid-aralan sa radyo, hatid namin ay makabagong paraan ng pagtuturo at kalaman. Mapaumaga, tanghali o hapon man yan. Ang istasyong magbibigay impormasyon kahit saan man.
For something big. Alright, here we go.
106.3 Dance Radio. Doña Aurora National High School, Santa Rita, Aurora, Isabela.
This
106.3 DWDR-FM.